Hi, everyone. Thank you so much and for being here, and welcome to the Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers Virtual College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event and have some fantastic schools here with us today. So my name is Karis and I will be your facilitator. So before we get started, I just want to go over just a few housekeeping items. So your camera and microphone are off and only so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can, however, use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any times. This is just one of many different sessions happening today, and so please be sure that you are checking out the schedule on the website. The presentation is also being recorded and will be available to you at the end of the day at strivescan.com/Virginia. Without further ado, that looks like all of my announcements that I have. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to our first university our first institution that's joining us today, which is going to be University of Essex.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. My name is Emma, and I am a representative at the University of Essex, which is based in England. So I'm just going to begin by telling you some of the key reasons why students from the US are study in England. So one of the main reasons is that our degrees in England are 3 years in length. The reason for that is we have no general ed. So it's a really great match or fit for students that know what it is they want to study or what it is that they want to major in, because they study that subject or that course from the very first day. So in England, it's an early degree specialism. Our fees in England are very competitive. It will vary from course to course and from institution to institution, but typically you'll be looking at paying somewhere between $20,000 to $30,000 per year. We have lots of great scholarships and funding opportunities, including international scholarships. Lots of universities in England are FAFSA accredited, and we offer veteran benefits, including the GI Bill at some of our universities. The application process is via UCAS, which very crudely speaking is kind of like our equivalent to the Common App. And if you're wondering whether or not you might, it's possible to get part-time work in England, then it is. With your student route visa, you can get work on and off campus. And if you get an internship, they are very often paid. And lastly, students that want to stay in the UK or stay in England and work, they now can with our 2-year post-study work visa. So if you're really enjoying studying and living in the UK and you want to stay and will look for work, then that is possible. So these are sort of the main reasons why students are attracted to England. I'm now going to talk to you about why students in the US are attracted to Essex. So you can see on the map there, we're located in the southeast of the UK. We have 3 campuses. All located within easy reach of London, less than an hour by train, which in my opinion is the perfect distance. Colchester, which is the largest of our 3 campuses and sits on 200 acres of beautiful parkland, is based in the UK's oldest recorded town. And we're not really known for our glorious weather in England, but in Essex, we do have some of the UK's best weather. So it's a brilliant mix of beaches, we're close to the city, and there's some lovely towns and villages close by. So the University of Essex is a dual intensive university, which means we place as much importance on our research as we do our teaching. And we're really recognised for the quality of our research at Essex. We're a university that's really well known for our social sciences. So in particular, subjects like politics, sociology, economics, criminology, human rights, these are subjects that we're consistently well ranked for. We also have a really interdisciplinary approach to our teaching, which means that students can pick different classes or modules across different faculties and departments to really shape their degrees around their interest and what it is that they want to study. We have a wide range of subjects, 3 faculties, and across those 3 faculties, we have 21 academic departments. I don't have time to go into all our departments, but there's a link there at the bottom of the screen if you want to explore them in more detail. So what's student life like at the University of Essex? We have over 160 different sports clubs and societies, so there really is something for everyone. Our Colchester campus is a really large vibrant campus. It has a real like community feel with amazing facilities, including a theatre, a cinema, there's a hair salon, a nail salon on campus too, an amazing sports arena with fantastic basketball and volleyball facilities, loads of restaurants, cafes, bars, all on campus, a gym that's included as part of your accommodation contract, climbing walls, squash courts, lots and lots of amazing facilities. We guarantee on-campus accommodation, so you get to live on campus for your first year and take advantage of all these amazing facilities. And we're also recognised for the fact that we're pumping money back into our campuses so that students can enjoy their facilities. So we're 7th for spend on services and facilities per student. I mentioned it's really cost effective for students to study in England, and the fact that our degrees are 3 years in length. Our fees are also really, really competitive at Essex. So you would be paying just under $17,000 to just under $20,000 per academic year. Sorry, that's pounds. In dollars, that would be somewhere between $21,000 to $25,000 per academic year. And we have some amazing scholarships, including our Americas Regional Scholarship, some fantastic sports scholarships as well, and an IB Excellence Scholarship if you're studying the International Baccalaureate, which is merit-based, and an automatic scholarship. We're also FAFSA accredited, so you can apply for federal aid and use that to fund your studies. So I'm sure one of the key reasons that you're wanting to go to university is to ultimately get a job that you really want, and we place an enormous amount of importance on employability at Essex. We offer placement years for students that want to take a year out during the studies and go and work for a company. So the way that would work is you would do your first and second year studying the course that you've chosen to study. You would then go out of university for a year and go and work for a company. Like I said, these internships are very often well paid, and then you would come back and complete your studies in your 4th year. There are amazing, amazing opportunities for students that are particularly career orientated and want to get that industry experience whilst studying. We have a really high percentage of our undergraduate students, 91%, that are in employment or further study within 6 months of graduating. And we also have employability modules built into our undergraduate degrees, and our Skills for Success team offers skills and CV workshops. There are networking events and all sorts of career events on campus too. We also offer a couple of programs that look fantastic on your CV or your resume, including our Languages for All program, so you can learn a language completely for free alongside your degree, and our Data Science for All program as well. I think I've got just a few seconds to tell you about my favourite thing about Essex. How international the university is. We're ranked 4th in the UK for our international outlook. It's not just our students, it's our staff as well that are from all over the world. Almost 40% of our students are from outside the UK, so it's such an international community, and it's an opportunity for you to study, live, work, make lifelong friends with people that are from all over the world. So yeah, that's it from me. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, my email address, or scan the QR code, and I'll put my contact details in the chat in just a moment. Thanks for listening.
Well, thank you so much. And then as a reminder, you all, if you have any questions for University of Essex or any institution that you will hear about today, feel free to just drop those in the Q&A and we will get to them as we can. Our next college that will be joining us today looks like it will be University College of Dublin.
Lovely, thanks so much. Great to be here, everyone. My name is Jim Pearson. I'm the Senior Admissions Officer for University College Dublin. I work at our North America Global Center. We have 7 employees that are based in North America to work with students from the US and Canada looking to go abroad and spend some time in Ireland, which is a great opportunity for you, and I'll explain why now. So excited to tell you more about UCD, but first we'll do a little bit about why Ireland and why Dublin and why you should consider coming to the Emerald Isle for your education. So now Ireland is the only English-speaking member country of the European Union, which gives you great access to the EU and a lot of opportunities for engaging in the EU and research and study and travel and kind of just getting immersed in European culture. It's a beautiful country. It's a small place, so smaller, about the same size as Virginia, but a ton of culture packed into this little island with a lot of things to explore, from vibrant cities and world capitals to stunning coasts and cliff walks and rolling green hills and all of the sheep and castles and things you might picture when you're thinking about Ireland. We're also a very young country with a third of our country under the age of 25, which makes it a very exciting place to be a student, especially studying in Dublin, where there are 4 universities and many other colleges. So it's a great way to get engaged in student culture and be able to meet people from Ireland and from all over the world. And then a great benefit of studying in Europe is that you get to enjoy Europe on your off time. So you can do weekend trips to Paris or Barcelona, or you can study abroad in Italy or Portugal. And the Dublin airport is a half an hour bus ride from campus with cheap flights all across Europe, and a great way to access and engage with the European continent. University College Dublin is an Irish public university. So we're the largest school in Ireland. We have about 29,000 students total, with about 19,000 of those being undergraduate students. About 30% of our population is international from 137 countries. So it is a really diverse place. We have a good number of American students on campus. So if you want to bond over peanut butter and ranch dressing and baseball, there's a good community for you there, and you can engage with other American students, but it's still an Irish school. So you still get that Irish experience, and you get to immerse yourself in an Irish country and culture while you're studying. UCD is ranked the #1 university in Ireland, according to US News and World Report, for the quality of our academics and our teaching and our facilities. And we're also the #1 university in Ireland for graduate employability. So great opportunities to go on and work in one of the multinational companies based in Ireland, like Google, Facebook, IBM, Microsoft, or somewhere else, or a more Irish-based company. And you get to stay back in Ireland to work after you graduate. So you get an opportunity to stay in Ireland and continue your life in Ireland and your Irish kind of experience after you graduate. And then we have a large kind of residential campus facility. We're about 15 to 20 minutes south of the Dublin city center. So we're very close to Dublin, but you're not in the middle of the city. So you get a student experience with residence halls and campus facilities that are right next to each other, and a great way to immerse yourself in a student environment, but have access to the capital whenever you want to get there. As far as what you can study, there's a little bit of everything. So we are like a large state university, kind of just based in Ireland and in Dublin. So we have a lot of courses across a whole range of options. You can study anything from agriculture or animal science to zoology and anything in between. Many of our students are coming over for things like English literature, politics, business, biological sciences, engineering, but you can study environmental science, or you can study law or medicine, or pretty much anything in between. A big benefit of Irish education is that there's no general education requirements. So if you study engineering, you never take another literature class again if you don't want to. So it's a great way to immerse yourself in your subject and study nothing but that. And we have some courses that are 3-year and some that are 4-year. So depending on what you choose, you might get out a year early. So it is like a lot of European schools where it's a very focused direct entry kind of academic program. But if you have no idea what you want to do, never fear. We have a kind of undecided program called Liberal Arts and Sciences, which is a 4-year course that gives you 1 to 2 years to take courses and classes across any subject before you decide on your major after the 1st or 2nd year. And that's our most popular course for North American students, because it gives you the kind of flexibility you'd see with an American degree. But you get to do it in Europe, and then you end up with the direct entry major and degree you get otherwise. As far as admissions, right now is a good time to be talking about that. Our application opens on October 1st, and you can apply via the Common App or direct entry on our website, ucd.ie/apply. The application is a bit different because we are an Irish school, so we review your application based just on academics. We don't read essays, we don't look at extracurriculars, and we don't read letters of recommendation. So if you were in the Boy Scouts or had a part-time job, that's great, but it's not a part of our review. And we are what might best be described as test flexible. So you can apply to some of our programs without any standardized test scores. But if you're applying to our more competitive courses like law, engineering, business, you might be required to submit either SAT or ACT or AP scores. And then when you apply to UCD, you'll apply to a specific major, but you can apply to up to 4 majors, and each application will be considered independently. So you can get an offer to liberal arts and science or English, and maybe not to business or engineering if it's more competitive. So it's a good way to explore a bunch of different options. Like I said, our application opens October 1st, which is this Friday. We have a rolling application process, but our priority deadline is December 1st to be eligible for all of our programs and scholarships. And speaking of scholarships, they're all merit-based at UCD, and they offer between 10 to 100% of tuition and fee scholarships for the entire degree program. And we also accept US student loans through FAFSA, 529 plans, or independent scholarships you can bring with as well. Life on campus is a pretty good deal and a pretty exciting place to be. We have accommodations right on campus. They're all single room apartment style, which means there's no bunk beds, there's no sharing a room between 2 or 3 roommates like I did when I went to a US school. So you get your own space and you're just a few minutes walk from all your classes. And then you get a modern campus environment with a whole lot of facilities that you can enjoy. And then when you're in UCD, you can take advantage of the great student life we have, the great facilities like the Black Box Theater or Dance Theater or the Olympic-sized swimming pool. or you can join one of the 130 clubs and societies we have at UCD. So that can be Harry Potter Club or Board Game Society just to make some friends, or you can join American Football or Trampoline Club or surfing and go surfing in the North Atlantic. So great experience. So looking forward to keeping in touch, and I hope you'll reach out with questions. Thanks very much, everyone.
Great, thank you so much. Well, we will keep things going, and I will turn it over next to Goldsmiths, University of London.
Hello, everyone. Just going to share my screen really fast. Okay. Hi there. My name is Will. I'm the International Officer at Goldsmiths, University of London. I'm based in Brooklyn, New York, so on your time zone. But the university itself is located in Southeast London. We were founded in 1891, and we have been part of the University of London since 1904. We have around 10,000 students on our campus, so we're a medium-sized university with a very diverse population of students. Nearly half our students are students of color, over a third are international. We have the largest LGBTQ+ population, self-identifying among UK schools. And we also have implemented a Green New Deal on our campus. So we are committing to carbon neutrality by 2025. Our campus is located about 15 minutes southeast of the city center of London. It's a single site campus, so all of your undergraduate coursework and support is going to be located inside that orange line there. Our residence halls are located both on and just off campus. And we have a train station right on top of our campus at New Cross Gate that will take you right into the city center, and you can explore all that London has to offer. London has just been voted again as the best student city in the world, and there's about over 500,000 students in the city. So it's a wonderful place to do an internship or a work placement. There's over 9 million people that live in the city. And there's tons of access to the amazing live theater that we have on the West End, tons of sports options with Premier League soccer. And there's also about half the city is parkland. So it's a really easy way to escape the occasional urban chaos that you might encounter in a busy place like London. And our academics focus on the fine and performing arts and humanities, of which we're among the top 100 universities in the world for those subjects, social sciences and management. We have 8 subject areas in the world's top 50 and 8 in the UK's top 30. And we also were recently ranked 9th in the UK for research intensity. And we do expect undergraduate students to perform research from their first year. And we have 55 different research centers and units on campus. Degrees in England are slightly different. I'm sure you've heard from Essex before this, but we have a 3-year degree program as well for bachelor's degrees. So we don't do general education or core curriculum, and you apply directly to a degree program. In the UK, you can also take advantage of the post-study work visa, which will allow you to remain in the country for up to 2 years upon graduation. And here's a non-exhaustive list of some programs that we offer on our campus. We have about 75 undergraduate programs in total, but really popular ones for American students to apply for are our computer science, psychology, art and design, economics and management, politics, international relations, and our media communications programs like journalism and film and television. And we are also on the UCAS application. So this is the way you would apply to Goldsmiths. Like I said before, it is a direct application to a degree program. We have moved to a test optional policy for this year. So any current seniors would not require test scores. But typically in a normal year, we would require a minimum ACT of 26 and or an SAT overall of 1240. We also do look for a 3.0 GPA at least to apply. That's a hard requirement. The application closes for the priority deadline on 26th of January, and I do highly recommend that you apply by that deadline. Cost of attendance in US dollars is typically around 36 to 40,000 US per year, and that includes tuition, cost of living, accommodation, visa fees, health insurance, sort of an all-inclusive number. You can work in the UK on a student visa, so that can really help offset some costs as well. But we do accept federal loans. We are a Title IV school, and we do offer some limited international scholarships for students that you can apply for after you've already been given an acceptance to the university. And our halls of residence are located on and just off campus, and we do have mixed gender housing. We do guarantee accommodation for you in the first year as an international student. But after that, you typically move into private housing, like a flat share or apartment or a house share. Or you could also choose to live in intercollegiate halls that are managed by University of London. So you'd be living with other University of London students from other colleges. And our accommodation is suite style, which is very common in the UK. We have between 4 and 8 students in a room, and you'll share a kitchen and living space with those students. We don't do meal plans at Goldsmiths, so you'll need to kind of prepare your own meals or find them on campus or around campus in the city. And students will also have their own bathroom and their own room. So it's a little bit different from the communal living you might be used to in a US college. And for our career service, we do offer work placements and internships for the vast majority of our students. About 80% will undertake at least one during their time at Goldsmiths. We do also have a really high entrepreneurial rate. Graduates, about 14% of our graduates will start their own business within 1 year of graduation. And we also recently were ranked 3rd in the UK for producing business founders. So we have the 3rd highest amount of CEOs and things like that of UK schools. And lastly, our clubs and societies, we have about 120 to join on campus and 20 different sports options that are both competitive and intramural. And we really encourage students to get involved in the Students' Union. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the Q&A or send me an email. And thank you so much.
Perfect, thank you. As a reminder, if you have any questions for any of the institutions that you have heard from, you can put those in the Q&A, and I will go ahead and turn it over to the University of Dundee.
Thank you, Caris. Despite what you think, I'm Joe McKinney. I'm just filling in for Paul McBean, but I also cover the Americas. I'm also in a hotel room in Manchester right now on a very dodgy connection for internet, so please excuse me if I cut out at any point. And what I'll do is I'll share my slides. Hopefully that's come up, and I'll just put them into full screen. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, thank you everyone for coming along. I'm just going to do a brief presentation about studying at the University of Dundee. I'm Joe McKinney, and I'm the International Officer for the Americas at the University of Dundee. So if you have any questions at all about studying in Scotland or Dundee, I'm more than happy to take any questions. So I thought to start off by saying, why should you come to Scotland to study for your international school? Well, Scotland has a lot going for it in terms of itself as a country, but there's loads of things going on for students. So there's a very good sort of arts and culture scene. We have multiple festivals. I'm sure you've probably heard of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, the comedy festival. We have like music festivals and everything you can imagine. It's obviously a very beautiful country. This is just a little snap of the park that's just down the road from my house in Dundee. Most people are pretty friendly. We do have a good reputation around the world. People will stop and talk to you in the streets randomly, which I love. And we have a lot of history there. We have a lot of good history in terms of education. Our education systems are over 600 years old in terms of higher education. And the liberal arts system was actually based off the Scottish system. So we must be doing something right. But I think if anything you can take from this talk, it has to be about the flexible degree structure. And that's where that sort of liberal arts structure fits in. Excuse me. So in terms of the degree, as you probably heard from Goldsmiths, the degree is not 3 years as it is in England. It's a 4-year course that you'll study in Scotland, depending on the course. The way it works is you apply for a subject, but you end up taking 3 or so. Then after your second year, you choose 1 or 2 of those subjects. So for example, I took a maths degree, but then I also decided to take economics and computer science and spent equal amounts of time on that. that. Then after my second year, I decided to continue with maths, but I could have changed my degree to economics or computer science, or combined with a range of those subjects. Dundee itself is quite as a historical city, but it's gone on a lot of regeneration over the past couple of years. I grew up around the city itself, and it's changed quite a lot since I was a teenager. We have about 150,000 people that live in Dundee, but about 14% are students. So it's very much a student city. The things that happen there are for students. It's a great time, not going to lie. Things you may not know about Dundee is that we discovered a lot of things. So we are known as the City of Discovery in the UK. So for example, we discovered aspirin, LCD technology, which is what you're watching on right now, radar, the adhesive postage stamp, Grand Theft Auto, ATM machines, the list goes on and on and on. But it's surprising how many things have been discovered in Dundee itself and the association with the university as well. We have a range of different schools at the University of Dundee, many different subjects that you can take, and they fit into the flexible degree structure, things like medicine, dentistry, but also art and design. We've got law, we have some liberal arts-based subjects. There's loads and loads. If you do want to find out more about that, here's a QR code. We love a QR code. There'll be multiple in this presentation. Scan that and you'll get a page where you can put in some details and you'll get our prospectus, and you can see more details about the topics that we have in store for you. In terms of the university itself, we generally perform well in league tables. So normally top 20 in the UK, very good for student satisfaction. Last year, we were the University of the Year for student experience, and we pride ourselves on that, and students have a great time when they're there. And we're generally top 250 in the world. So we are generally a good university. Our campus, we are a medium-sized university, and we have around about 17,000 students. This is basically all we've got is the campus here. It is based in the city centre, about a 5-minute walk away from the city centre, and you have everything you need there. So you have your halls of residence, you have your lecture theatres, you have your lecturers' and professors' offices, you have sports facilities, anything you can imagine, we've got it there on campus. We even have a shop. So you don't even need to leave the campus if you don't want to. Obviously, I don't recommend that. You need to get out and explore, but there you are. I've absolutely rattled through my presentation. There is, so as I said, I'm Joe McKinney, International Officer. There's my email and also my mobile, so you can hit me up on WhatsApp, but you can also scan the QR code. As I said, QR codes, we love it. If you get on the QR code, then that'll take you to a page where it has my details on there as well. More than happy to talk anything Scotland or Dundee. More than happy to talk to anyone about that. So if you have any questions, please do fire them into the Q&A or the chat, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. And I will close us out with our last school, followed by a brief Q&A, which will be IE University.
Okay, hi everyone. I hope you can all see my screen okay. So my name is Cora Morrison and I'm the Senior Manager for IE University. I'm actually based out of our New York office. We have 30 offices worldwide, and I'll just kind of jump into it. So this is IE University at a glance. We're an international European university located with campuses in Madrid and Segovia in Spain. We're a medium-sized university, nonprofit. All of our programs are taught in English, and we have 75% of our students are coming internationally from outside of Spain. Usually between 10 and 15% of those students are coming from the US. We have over 120 different nationalities on campus and a little over 4,000 undergraduate students right now. 55% are women, 45% are men. We have very career-focused majors and experiential learning approach. So similarly to some of the other universities, we do not have general education requirements, and students start off in classes related to their majors from day one. All of our programs are accredited, so students don't have to worry about if they want to come back to the US for work or for their study in a master's program, for example. And 95% of our job-seeking graduates said that they were employed within 6 months of graduation. We also have smaller class sizes in a way, usually compared to other universities. So our largest class size is for our business programs, which is our most popular program, and it's about 55 students per class. Tuition ranges between $25,000 and $27,000, depending on which program you are studying. and we have over 21 different scholarships available. I'd like to also share a little bit more about our beautiful campuses. If anyone here has ever been to Spain, I hope you've made it to Madrid. Madrid is the capital of Spain. We have an urban campus in the business district of Madrid next to the 4 skyscrapers that exist in the city. And Madrid is a hub of innovation and technology as well. A lot of Spain's companies are there. And we opened our new vertical campus in 2021 this year. We just welcomed students on this September. So this is a photo of the campus and kind of an overview of some of the different spaces for our students. I won't go into each one, but we have a lot more info online. And then these are just a few photos of our student spaces and classrooms. And Madrid has a lot to offer as well as a historic city, very beautiful. There's tons to do. And this is more of an urban campus environment. So, you walk outside of the campus and you're surrounded by everything. And then our Segovia campus, a little bit more in contrast, it's a smaller campus experience. Segovia is a smaller town close to Madrid. And our campus is actually located in the convent of Santa Cruz la Real, which was a 13th century monastery. So very beautiful, historic, beautiful architecture, and is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So these are just a few photos of our campus. And of course, Segovia also has a lot of great places to explore. You have a castle there, Roman aqueducts, and so much more. And then just to quickly talk about our studies, I had already mentioned the recognition of our programs, but we have various bachelors here that you can see on the screen. They're 4-year programs, the majority, except for architectural studies, which is 5 years in Spain. Usually students can decide to either start off in Madrid and do all of their studies in Madrid, or you can split between Segovia and then move on to Madrid. And just a couple programs which would be the most popular might be our business administration program. It has concentrations in entrepreneurship, technology, and also finance. And then our international relations program curriculum was redesigned with the United Nations System Staff College, and it offers a lot of great opportunities for our students through them. We also have a few different dual degree options. So this is great for students who are interested in 2 different areas or want to expand their business knowledge and professional skills in 2 different areas. And these are 5-year programs. And again, you can usually decide to start off in either Segovia or Madrid. And we also have a bunch of pre-college activities. So if anyone here is interested in that, I'd be happy to share more information, but we have summer and winter programs and different challenges and competitions. And our admissions process, I'll talk about next. Overall, we're looking for a well-rounded profile of student, and we have rolling admissions. So we're looking at everything that you are sending us. We're looking at transcripts, extracurricular activities, and we really have a personalized approach to each student. There are 5 stages to the admissions process that you see here. And this is just kind of it broken down a little bit more. So our admissions process is 100% online right now, and we are also on the Common App, and we have our own online application. So it's whichever works best for you. And we do require some sort of test. However, if you're not planning to take the SAT or ACT, we also offer our own test, which you don't need to prepare for, and it's more of an aptitude test. But I also like to think of it as, even though we have major focused programs, you can also customize a little bit and build your own path. So we have a range of different electives and advanced seminars, international exchanges, internships. Oftentimes these end up being international internships, and also our labs. We have over 160 different partner universities for exchange. So students usually will go in their 3rd or 4th year to do an exchange for a semester or a year abroad. And then we also have a lot of great campus life in Spain. So, we have over 125 different clubs. We have tons of events. We also have sports facilities in both campuses. We have a range of different sports that students choose from. Football, soccer for us would be the most popular, but we also have things like basketball, volleyball. We even have a cheerleading team. We have a creativity center space for our students to use for any workshops or rehearsals that they like or performances. And we also have a bunch of different traditions. Probably my favorite here is a global village. I don't think I have a lot of time to discuss each one, but this is just kind of a little bit of that. And then I just wanted to close off here because I have the timer saying that I'm out of time. This is me. Thanks so much for listening. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to help.
Well, that is all of the schools that we have with us today. I am going to get us started with just a brief Q&A so that we can hear a little bit more from these schools. So if everyone will go ahead and get their cameras turned on for me. Perfect. So the first question that we have is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
My piece of advice would be probably to talk to us, reach out to representatives, university reps if you have any questions, but also to talk to students. So if there's a particular course that you're interested in, or a particular university, and you know you want to know more about that course, what it's like studying at that university, the best people to talk to are current students. So lots of universities, certainly in the UK, are on a platform called UniBuddy, and you can speak to current students, ask them about the course they're studying, what it's like to study at that particular university, and get a real sense of what it's like to study at that university. So yeah, I think that'd be my piece of advice: talk to current students.
Yeah, I think what I usually tell students and families looking at going abroad for school is that you have to consider the same exact questions about fit and university and what you're looking for as you would going to school in the US, plus a whole added layer of complexities. So you have to think about whether you want to go to an urban or rural environment, a big or small school, private or public. But then you also have to think about whether you want to go to a country that speaks English or another language, and whether you want to live in, what climate environment you want to live in, what the political situation is there. So you have to do all of that. So I guess that boils down to start early, and start thinking about what you want and what's a good fit for you across all those different vectors, and what's going to be a good opportunity for you and what you're looking for. So good luck.
I think for students looking to go to the UK, a great resource in the college search process is the UCAS website itself, ucas.com. This is a great way for you to research courses that you might be interested in. You can sort by, urban, rural, England, Scotland. So it kind of gives you the opportunity to search for different universities that fit what you're looking for in a school. And also it can help you with the application process as well. You can do like worksheets for your personal statement, watch videos for like how to fill out the application as an international student, et cetera. So it's a really great resource for you in this process.
Yeah, I think everyone else has sort of hit the nail on the head. I think just culminating all that together, I would just say research. It's always so good to just get like a really good idea of what you're wanting to do. It's a big investment going to study at school. So I always recommend, chatting to us, using the resources on websites, speaking to students. Also just figuring out, try and visit if you can. Obviously, it's not been easy over the past year or so, but definitely as things are opening up again, please do, if you can, come over and visit and just feel it for yourself. You'll know right away when you visit a school whether you want to be there or not, and it would be great if you could. So yeah, research, and visit if you can.
Yeah, and I think, everyone has already summed it up so well. Maybe I would just add that, also try to enjoy this time. I know that it can be quite a nerve-wracking time for everyone, and, it's great to do all the research and that you're attending all of these events, but also try to enjoy it in a way, you're setting yourself up for the next 4 or 5, maybe more years of your life, and it's an amazing time. And just try to always be also, I would say, very kind to yourself, and just try to enjoy the time that you're doing your research too.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left, and so I will close with this final question. What is one thing you want students to remember about your school?
What's the one thing? Probably how international and inclusive and diverse our campus is. It really is such a welcoming international community with, I think, as I mentioned in the presentation, the fact that we're 22nd in the world for international outlook. But I think probably what students would say is the most memorable thing about our campus is the fact that we have a campus cat who has his own Instagram, he has his own social media basically, and has his own merchandise and shops as well. So students might say that the cat is one of the most memorable things.
I think students can kind of see UCD as a perfect mix between a European education and kind of an American experience, or an American style experience, because we are a European school and an Irish public university, but with a great international dimension and lots of American students on campus. And we have, European academics, but with an undecided program that kind of mirrors the American liberal arts kind of process. So it's a great mix if you're looking for that European experience, but also want a little bit of familiarity for yourself.
I think for Goldsmiths, the one thing that is probably quite memorable about the school is we have a really amazing alumni network, and especially in our creative fields, we have Oscar, BAFTA, Tony, Mercury Prize, Turner Prize, Man Booker Prize winners. So there's a really fantastic alumni network of really creative people, and the university is consistently ranked among students as one of the most creative universities in the UK by Which University. So yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have a campus cat, so Essex is doing amazing there. But yeah, I would just say that Dundee is very much a student-focused university. Even though we do have really good sort of academics, we're also known as Fundy and sometimes Sunday, just because it's the sunniest city in Scotland, which isn't saying much, to be honest. But yeah, I just want to say that, yeah, like as long as getting a really good sort of degree in schooling, it's also important to have that other side of things. And I think Dundee brings that sort of good dimension. So I would say that University of Dundee, you have a great time, but you have a really good degree as well at the end of the day.
I think if I could just add something for IU University, it would probably be, even though all of our programs are taught in English, you still have the chance to either learn Spanish or another language while here, because if students do not know Spanish, we put them directly into Spanish classes for free throughout their studies. If students already know Spanish, they can learn another language while they're here, but it's a really great way to practice and learn more about Spanish and able to speak it fluently by the time they leave.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a quick 5-minute survey. And so we'd appreciate any feedback you could provide about your experience. I also would encourage y'all to check back the schedule and sign up for more sessions. And then you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all other session recordings at strivescan.com/Virginia. So thank you all so much and enjoy the rest of your day.